The silent crisis. We live in the most connected era in human history. More messages, more notifications, more platforms. Yet somehow, people have never felt more lonely. Americans are talking more than ever, but listening less. Texting more, but feeling less understood. Scrolling endlessly, but struggling to feel seen. This is not a coincidence. It's the quiet collapse of real conversation. And the consequences are bigger than we think. Chapter 1: Why Conversation is a Human Superpower. Conversation is not small talk. It's not a social skill for extroverts. It's not charisma or charm. Conversation is the core human technology. Everything meaningful in life flows through it. Love, friendship, trust, leadership, persuasion, belonging. We don't bond because we agree. We bond because we feel understood. And understanding begins with how we talk. Chapter 2: The Science of Connection. Decades of psychological research show something simple but powerful. People feel closer when they reveal themselves gradually and are met with curiosity. That's why a famous experiment, originally 36 questions, showed that strangers could build deep connection in under an hour. Not because the questions were magical, but because they invited vulnerability. Even a smaller set of the right questions can change how people feel about each other. Questions like, what are you excited about lately? What's something you love doing but aren't good at? What's something you want to learn? What has made you laugh recently? These questions do something radical. They shift the conversation from surface to substance. Chapter 3: The real skill is not asking, it's following up. Anyone can ask a good question. Almost no one asks a good follow-up. Real connection doesn't come from the first question. It comes from the second and third. When someone answers, and you say, why do you think that is? What about that resonates with you? Do you see yourself in that story? That's when the conversation deepens. That's when someone feels heard, not interrogated. Listening isn't silence. Listening is response. Chapter 4: Why Listening is Misunderstood. Most people think listening means nodding, smiling, saying, but research shows this proves nothing. You can nod while thinking about groceries. True listening has 3 layers. Perception, noticing tone, pace, energy, emotion. Processing, making sense of what matters. Reflection, feeding it back verbally. When you reflect someone's words back to them, you say, I see you. I get you. You matter. That alone builds trust. Chapter 5: Validation is not agreement. One of the biggest mistakes in conversation is confusing validation with agreement. Validation means, I understand why you feel this way. It does not mean, I agree with you. In fact, validation is the foundation of persuasion. People don't change their minds when they're attacked. They change when they feel respected. You can validate someone 10 times and still disagree strongly. And paradoxically, that disagreement lands better afterward. Chapter 6: How Persuasion Actually Works. Persuasion is not a single conversation. It's a relationship over time. We are persuaded by people we like, trust, respect. That trust is built by asking questions, staying curious, exploring their viewpoint, sitting on the same side of the problem. The fastest way to persuade is not to push. It's to listen longer than expected. When people feel heard, they stay engaged. And engagement is where influence lives. Chapter 7: Why Men Are Struggling with Friendship. There's a quiet crisis in America. A shocking number of men report having no close friends, no one to turn to in crisis. Male friendships often stay at the surface: sports, work, jokes, commentary on surroundings. What's missing is vulnerability. The leap from activity buddies to real friendship feels risky. Especially in a culture that teaches men that vulnerability is weakness. But connection requires courage. One honest question can change everything. What have you been struggling with lately? What's something you've never really said out loud? Friendship grows one brave conversation at a time. Chapter 8: The Digital Age is Making Conversations Feel Fake. Our conversations have become unreal. We're constantly switching between texts, emails, DMs, calls, meetings. This constant toggling exhausts the brain. But here's the key insight. When people look back on their day, only face-to-face conversations feel real. Emails are useful, texts are efficient, but the human brain evolved for in-person connection. Screens replace conversations. And when they don't replace them, they disrupt them. A phone on the table is a portal away from the moment. Chapter 9, AI, Convenience, and the Loss of Soul. Artificial intelligence can write messages faster than ever. But there's a hidden cost. AI pushes communication toward the average. Smoother, cleaner, safer. But also flatter, blander, less human. When people sense they're not hearing you, they disengage. Because relationships aren't built with outputs. They're built with people. Ironically, those who resist letting AI speak for them will develop a rare advantage. Being unmistakably human. Chapter 10, The Power of Strategic Authenticity. Being authentic doesn't mean dumping your full personality everywhere. That would be chaos. Great communicators practice strategic authenticity. Same values, same integrity, different behaviors for different contexts. You adjust without pretending. You adapt without manipulation. Asking a question you're not dying to ask isn't fake. It's respectful. Because once the answer comes, your curiosity becomes real. Chapter 11, Silence and Maturity. Silence has meaning. Early in relationships, silence signals danger. Later, silence signals comfort. Being able to sit quietly with someone is one of the highest forms of connection. Conversation is not about filling space. It's about sharing it. Chapter 12, Why This Matters for the Future. In a world of automation, AI, and constant noise, conversation may be the last irreplaceable human skill. Jobs may change, industries may vanish, but humans will always need to connect. The future belongs to those who can listen deeply, speak clearly, validate honestly, build trust over time. Not louder talkers, better ones. We don't need more content. We need more connection. The solution isn't complex. Ask better questions. Listen longer. Follow up. Put the phone down. Be brave enough to go deeper. One conversation at a time. Because the quality of your life is shaped by the quality of your conversations. And that is something no machine can replace.